Yeah.
Order filled, check us out.
You know what time it is.
This is Mighty Soldiers exclusive.
Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it.
It's my pleasure, after this brief little introduction, to introduce a fantastic trader, a great friend of Benzinga, and someone that seriously knows what they're doing with penny and small cap stocks, Mr. Andy Cole from Mighty Soldiers Trades, if I can say that correctly.
Hey, good morning, Neal. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, Andy. Welcome, man.
Yeah, had a really rough night, so bear with me, guys. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
A rough night. Here, let me tell you about my night. Let's see if you can beat it. Go to sleep at 9 p.m. because I got to do a small cap conference in the morning. Oddly, wake up at like 3 a.m. Start eating Indian food that I had left over, some spicy chicken. Upset stomach all morning. Pepto-Bismol. Morning with Patrick, and here I am, slightly upset stomach, but very excited to go.
I think I might have caused his upset stomach, Andy. I'm not sure. The Pepto-Bismol might be because of me and not me.
Yeah, well, let's just say I was up all night for the reason people need that sort of thing. And yeah, that's about all I'll say about it.
Oh, God bless you, man. Oh, good luck.
Yeah, well, thanks for making it in.
Awesome. We'll let you take it away, Andy.
All right. Thanks, Patrick.
All right, Andy, I gave everyone the normal lowdown. You are no stranger or no noob to these events, so you know exactly how they go. So, Andy, I'm going to let you take it away, and as questions come in from chat, I'm going to make sure they make their way to you. All right, man?
All right, yeah. Thanks, Neal. I'll get started.
All right.
All right, so I'm Andy with Mighty Soldiers Trades, and we're going to be talking a little bit about pre-market. That's my bread and butter. That's where we make most of our profit. And first, I have to warning, pre-market has increased risk. Do your own due diligence. That being said, there's a lot of things that people tell you to be scared of and not to trade, but I can tell you that there are a lot of benefits to pre-market if you do know how to manage your risk. It's basically how fast do you want to drive. Some people can drive really well, really fast. So, pre-market's more of like driving a little faster, I guess you could say. And Mighty Soldiers Trades is veteran owned. And a funny story is when I first got started trading, I would not call myself a trader at all back then. I knew nothing at all, but I started paper trading Forex in 2008. And the cool thing about it, I think Forex.com is where I did that. And they had all the tools that I'm sort of used to now. It was amazing and incredible having all the news feeds and having, different scanners and stuff and different order types that I had no idea, but that actually built into my future in trading. So I understood a little more when I got going, actually trading intraday, thousands of trades per year. And even a funny story though, when I got my first stock, which was the same year, it ended up being a paper stock certificate that I got from a family member. I had no idea what to do with this paper certificate at all. So I went to my bank and I tried to, how do I sell this paper stock certificate? And so I had no idea what I was doing at all. They didn't know how to help me. They said, sir, we've been into the e-trading era for quite a while now. And, you're going to have to talk to somebody else about that. Took my paper certificate home. At the same time, I tried to fund my account with about $12,000 to $14,000. And my banker did not know how to do the wire transfer somehow. So I didn't end up getting that started on that day like I really wanted to. But yeah, so the point of that is just that, wherever you're starting from, no matter how ignorant you feel you are or how hard or difficult, this journey may seem to you, you can do it. It just takes some dedication and learn, never stop learning. So basically the market moves from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m., guys. Don't let anybody tell you any different. The markets move from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. and there are people trading and you can trade depending on your broker. So contact your broker and ask. Me personally, I trade all my intraday trades at TradeStation, which starts at the normal pre-market hours, which is 8 a.m. And, normal market hours are 9:30 to 4 p.m. And then after hours are from 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. And that's, I would say, when people say be worried about pre-market, I'm more concerned about after hours. That's when the spreads open up a lot. That's when liquidity dies down. But that's just my personal preference. There's people that make tons of money after hours, like on earnings. I do pretty well as well after hours trading. And excuse me. We have a lot of employees, first responders in our group trading with us every morning, and they get a lot of value out of trading pre-market. They're learning how to manage their risk and be in there. for the time that they can right before work. A lot of them literally are walking out the door to work right when they leave their trading desk from us. So you'll hear all over FinTwit, Twitter, whatever. It's best to have the set it and forget it strategy. You don't want to sit in front of your screens all day. Why would you want to waste your time doing that? And then, do I need to be auto trading? How do I do this if I'm working full time and I don't have time to be trading like this? And pre-market offers a lot of potential for people in these type of situations that really can't sit there all day and look at the screens. So it's kind of like Fight Club, generally pre-market trades stay within pre-market. And I would say it's the same thing for sorry guys, rough night, like I said. Anyways, generally pre-market trades stay within pre-market. I would say the same thing for intraday trades. Don't let your intraday trades get out of hand. Don't let them turn into swing trades or investing. 90% of all bags, more than 90% of all bags, they just stay down, they fail, they stay red. It's not worth it to hold and hope and struggle in these trades. So, if you are going to grab something pre-market, especially at a more volatile time when they're setting something up that's bound to come right back down. I'm up, they see me, I'm down, first rule in Pennystocks. That's that. Yeah. So anyways, guys, sorry. Scan for what's moving. So how we scan for what's moving in the market, pre-market, Benzinga has some really amazing tools. We have movers, we have signals. We're looking for new highs. New highs let you know what stocks are breaking and making new highs in the pre-market session, watching those come through more. If I see multiple prints on one stock, I'm definitely going to check out that name. We have the price spike. We have halts that we can look for. And over here in movers, we're looking for top percentage gainers and volume. Anyways, we're looking for the most volume there as well. And for your scanning settings, you might want to set a minimum volume of at least 150,000 so you can weed out some of the noise. And some of our scanning options, you can use relative volume of 1.5. That's a good way to find what's really getting some action. And Charlie over at the Squawk, he's amazing. If you don't see it, well, you'll probably see it in your scanner, but either way, you'll probably hear it from Charlie first. Charlie is going to alert you to everything. If it's moving, Benzinga Charlie over here at the Squawk is going to let you know. Benzinga also rules pre-market, guys. Like, there's no other place to be that offers this much pre-market. I couldn't live without it myself. And one of the cool features that came into Benzinga was the low float scanner. I know that I had been one of the people that had requested that myself. And, so that's really cool that we can now scan by float. And here's basically where you can see the float in the detail pane for, anyways. So you know what you're trading, and low float stocks generally tend to be more volatile. That's how many shares are available. And so, if we're rotating through that float, if we have more traded than what's in the float, that's what we're looking for a beast mode stock that can really get ripping. Oh man. Wow, guys. So, again, you got Benzinga filter by float. So you can, this was a newer feature back when I got started with you guys, and I'm really thankful for it. So, there's a lot of different other filters that you can do. I also like the audible alerts. You get Benzinga offers you a chance to keep your eyes on your chart and hear, what's halted, what's moving, where the price spike is, and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's really awesome feature. Wow.
Hey, Andy, I just want to step in and say we are all supporting you. Thank you so much for making it happen today. We're going to get through this together. This is some great content so far, man. So keep it up.
Yeah, thanks, Neal. I'm telling you, it was a brutal one. Very, very, very rough one, but I could not be here. So we appreciate it. Jason Raznick said that he's going to send you a lifetime supply of chicken noodle soup right after this. I got it confirmed. Awesome. Thanks, Jason.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it was a really rough one though, Neal. So number one thing that I tell everybody, position sizing, you need to make sure that you're not positioning yourself too large in any of these trades. The whole thing here is if you have a position size that's too big, that's going to be those moments when you don't know what to do. You're going to get in, you're going to be like, what do I do? I remember I looked at Sarah. I've done over thousands of trades for over the last 3 years now. And I told you, I was not actually a trader at all. When I first started trading and learning all this stuff, I was more of a fan of trading, and I was trying to grasp trading, but it really didn't work. It wasn't until I actually got in there, no matter how much I learned and put in thousands of trades, that I actually started learning quite a bit. But I would get into these trades and I would be Sarah, which is my wife, she's sitting next to me. I'm like, well, what do I do? Should I sell? And it's, if you're in a trade and you're thinking, what do I do? Should I sell? I'm unsure about this position. When in doubt, get the freak out. And if you're asking your wife or you're praying about it, putting smoke signals out there or anything like that, it's probably best to just close these trades and move on. And the best way to build confidence and not be in those situations is smaller position sizes. I like to start with a position size that's more basically almost insignificant. And I find that I get a lot of profit from these insignificant trading sizes anyways. But large sizes creates anxiety, clouds your judgment. And, like I said, then you're asking your wife, should I get out? Should I get out? And that's just not the best thing to be doing. So build confidence with small position sizing. And one of the things that you desperately need is, I believe that, getting out of the way of an order when you realize that things are about to go wrong is super important. So I hear all these questions about hotkeys, how to buy this many shares and, buy it bid +1, bid +3, buy it ask -1, buy it any of this stuff. And anyways, the most important hotkey to me, the only hotkey that I definitely 100% need, no matter where I'm at, is cancel last and cancel all. I find that to be very important. If you're wrong, hit the hotkey, get out, cancel that order, get out of the way before you get into a position that you realize now, whoa, I made a mistake. If you can get out before you even get in, then you don't have to manage a bad trade. So, that avoidance of that situation is probably far better. So I would say everybody should probably have a hotkey where you can cancel last, cancel all. I like that little guy down there. It says winning. It just reminds me of what, Charlie Sheen. I'm sorry, guys.
Tap into your tiger energy, man. I love it.
Love it.
Yeah, so when in doubt, get the freak out. I just wanted to add these. These are some basic principles, guys. I'm not really building like a really educational course for you guys right now, but just some basic principles about what we do. And like I said earlier, when in doubt, get the freak out. Get that order out of the way. But if you do get filled and you're in the trade and it starts to turn against you, just do your best to just basically, if you're doubting the position, if you're feeling stressed, if you're starting to sweat, if you're needing that blood pressure medicine, like I said before, get out of the trade. You can always buy it again, and don't put your whole account into you guys do what you got to do for you, but I wouldn't put my whole account into any of these things. That way, I can go ahead and just rebuy it again at a better time. I've been ran over so many times, right thesis, wrong time sort of play. Okay, so anyway, here's a little quick joke. The quickest way to stop a penny stock is to buy it. You've heard it. You've probably done it yourself. You buy a stock, and it's like, how come every time I buy is the moment it turns around? Every single time, this stock's going to the moon, and as soon as I touch it, things like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, it just, and it happens to all of us. So we joke around in the stream all the time. It's the fastest way to buy a penny stock is to buy it, because, it's going to pull below your number, bounce at your number, not let you into profit, keep itself looking nice and bullish, and then pull down more when you're not willing to take that negotiation. I find that very important, guys. Always realize there's a negotiation happening, whether it's a one-on-one between somebody that knows you as an entity, or it's just simply, you working your trade, but there's a negotiation, and you have to be wise enough sometimes just to take that out. Like, okay, he's hitting my number. It's hitting my number, whatever you want to call it. You can call it Darth Vader for all I care, market maker, whatever you want to do. But just anyways. So one of the number one problems that I hear about every day with a lot of new traders is I got the PDT rule. I only have 3 trades. I have less than 25K in my account. And, so I don't have enough trades. And then I hear many people violating it, which I violated it. I violated that. I violated the settled cash thing. I had to call my broker and have them relieve I guess there's that one freebie where they'll forgive you. And I had the one freebie at multiple brokers. So I was a bit of a rule breaker, I guess. But yeah, I hear this problem all the time. And there's a simple answer to this. It's called a cash account. You could just call your broker, and you no longer have to worry about 3 trades when you're under 25,000. It's 3 trades in a 5-day rolling period. Keep that in mind. So it's not just like, a week, Monday to Monday or something. But anyways, 5-day rolling period. But when you're in a cash account, you got to worry about settlement, which is pretty much every other day with a cash account. And So T plus 2, that's the trade day plus 2 days. So you trade day, then the next day, now your money's available. So it's every other day your cash is available. And if you're trading options, it's T plus 1. So every other day, that's why people like options. You can have your full account ready to trade every single day with options in a cash account.
Hey Andy. Yeah, while you're taking a sip, so a lot of folks I think tend to go straight to margin because a lot of the newer brokerages just kind of put you in a margin account right away. So for folks that are doing the cash account, that will allow them to avoid some of these PDT trappings. When you say settlement, is that after you sell the asset to get your cash back, or is that after you deposited into the account from your bank?
That's after you sell your stock. So when you sell your stock, that money is that capital is unsettled. And in some brokers, they'll let you trade that because they understand that you want to swing trade and day trade. And some brokers are already pre-set up to make it to where you cannot trade unsettled funds unless you call and request it. So with one broker, you have to call and ask them, please set up this restriction so I don't accidentally trade these funds because I'm just trying to day trade with them, not swing trade. And the other broker, you have to do the opposite. So yeah, just making sure that if you're going to violate that rule, get that restriction set up. I like the restriction. If I'm trading the cash account personally, I don't want to trade unsettled funds and get around. I forget what it's called right now. Yeah, like I said, rough night. My not firing all cylinders.
Get around the PDT. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but yeah, just trading. You could trade half your account in the cash account every day, pretty much, and that'll get you by. Okay. But yeah, as far as settling in your account when you first deposit it, I had to call a couple of the brokers that I got, and they actually sped the process up. So you might want to give your brokers a call. Pretty hard to do during COVID land though. So good luck with that. But anyways, I did. They got my deposits in there a lot quicker when I called them. But
so can I just punctuate a couple things that you just said?
Yeah, sure.
Mind like that. Okay, so guys, I really hope that you got some note-taking tool out because Andy is rapid firing you good stuff that. Every time I talk to Andy, I learn stuff. Your pacing is fantastic. I always learn new stuff, and this is stuff that I wish I would have known, 5 years ago. But a couple things. Number one is you can call your brokerage in most cases. There are a lot of instances where people think like, oh crap, the platform just kind of screwed me over, or I did something dumb, or I don't understand what's happening. Call the support line. There's a lot that they're there to do for you. So don't be afraid to do that. Of course, things are a little bit backed up because of the times with COVID-19 and everything. And then another thing, guys, just out of interest, if you could please, in chat, Umbrella, and on YouTube, let us know what brokerage account you're using. Just drop in what you're using, just out of interest. I want to get a sort of a beat on what you guys are doing. And then, Andy, I think we'll get to a little bit of a Q&A maybe once we get to about 10 minutes left, if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, no problem. So with the margin account though, that's where you can use leverage. And that's where if you have a minimum of $2,000 in the account, that's where you can short stocks. And that's why a lot of people really love margin. And then if you're over 25K, you can just trade your funds. You're not worried about the settled funds and all that. So it's anyways, really, you got to weigh it for yourself, what you're really looking to do. If you want to short, you're going to need a margin account. It's going to be a little tougher for you if you are under that 25K, level. And I'm not taking out a lease in any of these plays. For me, if I understand that I'm trading intraday, I'm trading what's going on right now. I'm trading the immediate action. So, if I get the idea that somehow now I don't know, I love this stock or it's pulled down, I'm going to hold it, that's where stress comes in. That's where sleepless nights come in. So I'm not taking out a lease in these things. I'm in, I'm out, I'm taking my profit and I'm moving on. I'm trading the volume, the action, momentum. And let's just take some technical analysis and make it pretty simple. Take away the whole book, like sort of like it's a trading engineer, and let's just make it pretty simple. Here's your candles. And we have for the green candles, you open at the lows, you close at the highs of the real body, the big bulk of it. Let me see if you guys can see my cursor right there. That's the real body. And this is the upper shadow and this is the lower shadow. So this is how low the stock went, how high the stock went, where it opened and where it closed. And it's the opposite over here. We have the high, we have the low, and then the open is the close because, we're bearish, we're going down here, and bullish going up here. and looking for, it's really simple, guys. We're looking for higher highs, higher lows, lower lows. We're looking for support and resistance. We're looking for trend lines. Just try upper shadows, lower shadows. If I didn't say that, we're looking for where the price could not hold. Just trying to keep it really simple. You don't have to. You should learn everything you can, but you don't have to know everything to get through this. So during an uptrend, price makes higher highs and higher lows, as you can see. We've got a higher high here. We've got a higher low here. We're just keeping up. And then the same thing here with the lower highs and lower lows. This is a downtrend. And to me, I always tell you guys, this level right here, this is where the averagers got stuck. They bought anywhere up here. They drop down here. They try to buy more so they can get out with profit. And this real body is going to stop right at their level. These upper shadows do not mean that you can get out. The spread could be there or anything. And, so anyways, you're rejected and move down to another level from that. So during a downtrend, the price makes lower lows and lower highs. And we're always looking for resistance. We're always looking for support. And new traders, guys, are always looking for trading that resistance break. This part right here that did not hold, it's an upper shadow. You can see price didn't hold. There's no real body up there at all. And this is exactly where all new traders are looking to trade. And what happened to that guy? He got in profit really quick. He might not have sold. He might not have scaled out. He might not have sold half of his position and then stopped out back where he entered. So now he is down here, in a loss. He could be now in a situation where he's starting to average into his play just to try to not lose. And this thing could just rest on the vid and go down forever. So, new traders, I don't know why, but just gravitating mostly towards resistance breaks and hammers. I traded and looked for hammers all the time. Hammers are great. When you can find a hammer, it's really great. That's going to work out. And if it's got to be at the lows, and so it is a good opportunity. I have a slide later. I'll show you guys how where to put a stop and stuff. And then again, here's some more resistance rejection here, and then we pull down. And what happens is if you're in this play, if you're in from any place, honestly, even if you're in profit, and you pull down to this level, which would be the support for the consolidation, the potential consolidation that would happen right here. And then, we can break and make new highs if we're in a bull flag. As soon as you break that support for that consolidation, it's a different play. You should probably be out of it, considering maybe a new trade. Because at this point, we broke this, and what's going to happen, we're going to drop down, and then we're going to come right back to that previous support, which is now going to act as resistance. And we're going to get rejected there. So expect the rejection and have a stop at this level. I hear so many people all the time asking me about plays that are in this spot right here. And yes, these can work out they can turn into a rounding bottom deal. There's a lot of different ways that these can break and make new highs. In fact, you can have a cliffhanger like this where it's about to teeter and break down. And then all of a sudden the thing breaks and makes new highs. But that's the exception to the rule. That's not happening all the time. So that's not the setup that we're necessarily looking for. And so here's the hammer. You can buy at the break of the real body here. That's some pretty nice profit, actually, a nice reversal. You can, and your max stop can be at the low of the hammer, because sometimes, we might have a bit of a lower shadow that you're a little too much for you. For me, I don't like that. I prefer to have a tighter stop and stop out at the break of the real body of the hammer. As you see, this held right here to the base of that real body. I'm always looking at these real body levels. Real body levels are key to my profit daily, and I recommend you guys also to learn as much as you can and pay attention to them. But that's where I would like to get into this play. And as you see, it worked out fine. It didn't break my stop at all, and would have had some pretty decent profit. And I'm not looking for these things to go to the moon. Like I said, where I see the previous support, that's where I'm looking to get out. And so I would have had some decent profit, and then it turned around. And then I could look for another trade doing the same exact thing down here. As you see, we come down, we bounce, we come down again, bounce a little bit, and it's just happening day in, day out. So looking at these hammers, though, these potential hammers, this just actually failed. But, they do have some decent trades. But new traders, like I said, they're always looking for hammers and resistance breaks, in my opinion.
What time frame are you looking at for those candles? What increments?
This is probably going to be, I look for all my patterns on the 5 minute. For my intraday trades, I'm mostly looking at the 5 minute, and then I'm going to look for the 15 minute, and I'm going to look at the daily for anything where I'm looking for hammers or chart setups or anything like that. 15-second is not really for that at all. That's just to basically see the resistance forming or the support forming before anybody else can really see it, to see the like I said, the nails in the road, just to know where you're going, how to manage that trade and get out quick enough before it. Because when they turn around, they can turn around so fast. You can feel so secure in your trade, and instantly it just gets pulled out from underneath you, and you're really in for a disaster. So having that 15-second chart really gives me the ability to see what's happening and get out before that happens, or right at the moment that it happens. And what we're going to see in pre-market all the time are these straight spikes. So definitely make sure there's a confirmation before entering your trade. If you don't have a continuation where a real body holds above the first spiked candle, and then we're looking for that continuation up, we're looking for maybe some bull flag consolidation here, and then double that flag, basically the flag pull. That's the stuff we're looking for. But these straight spikes happen all the time on news. It sounds like the greatest news ever. And as soon as you touch them, they drop right back down to where they opened. And if you're putting in bigger position sizes, that would be devastating to your account. I've done it. I've actually bought stocks here and had them drop, below support, way down to where I was losing 80% of my trade in one trade, actually. That was a halt, though. And here again, pre-market spike, and here's that real body rejection I was telling you guys about. So instead of getting that, and for these real body rejections, even if this upper shadow is way up here, which is not going to be an upper shadow at that point, it's going to be a solid bodied green candle all the way up here, breaking and making new highs. I'm still looking at it and considering that we could end up with that real body rejection. I see it all the time. Usually not with an upper shadow this huge, by the way, but it's, even though we're way up here, we will come back down and get rejected at that real body level. And then, we start that stair stepping action down where people are trying to average and save their hide or whatever. So like I said earlier, the first rule in penny stocks, I'm up, they see me, I'm down. And again, like I said, I'm looking at the 15-second to look for those potential support and resistance zones. And the 65 is probably the most reliable support and resistance zone that I know of on any time frame. And, I thought the 15-second was just a bunch of noise before, but they always, I say it all the time, they're going to meet again, no matter what. They will find their way back home to that 65. And, but this is what you're trying to avoid, this real body rejection. Then you're all the way back down. And then from here, probably end up back literally all the way where it started or below. And then this is the potential of small caps. This is why a lot of people love to trade these things intraday, at least. There's just so much potential. I mean, when you see a stock that rips 4,300%, this is make accounts and break accounts type of trading action. And, and that's another thing, like, when you're in this and you see that it beasts out like this, you're like, well, it has to pop back up. It had to have beasted out for a reason, right? No, it doesn't have to do anything. And whatever reasons you have, whatever the news is telling you or anything, just trade the chart, not your feels, not the news. And again, Kodak, it was halted. So, we are looking at halts. And a lot of times when we get these big, huge plays, what will happen is they'll halt over and over again, making it very difficult to get in, to get out, even when you do have profit. And I think there were people way up by $60 that ended up down like $31, $32 out of a halt. I mean, it may not have been exactly that smooth of the action, but it was. I mean, it was, you were cut in half on this play, and it definitely destroyed some accounts that day. I like to, as I said this last time, but I like to call this the Trump and no politics intended, but you can see Benzinga, all these, you can see this is another thing about this tool. It's so powerful. You can go back and look at the history of all these halts, and just basically any information. It's a powerhouse, fundamental as well as technical trading powerhouse. I love Benzinga. Could not trade without it.
Thank you for that, Andy. I got to step in and be the annoying MC and let you know we are out of time. So much content here, guys. Where can folks that still want more get more of this content, more of this great stuff from you, Andy? Where can they find you?
Well, we're streaming live in the pre-market session starting at 8 a.m. over at bullishbears.com. They've been gracious enough to invite us over there and open up a small cap room for us. And basically, you can come trade with us. We have a great group of people. Everybody's awesome. I love it. We are laughing together and having a good time every day. It's about the greatest group of people I could imagine.
Yep, we love bullish too, guys. That's bullishbears.com to get more from Andy. So make sure you go over to the site. It should be really easy for you to navigate over to it. Patrick, what do we got up next?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Andy. We really appreciate you coming on, man. Super insightful. I've been seeing the chat blow up while you've been speaking, so it's really fun to see this kind of engagement, man.
Well, I'm at about 10% today, so thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I really did not expect to have a night like that, but I had to be here.
Do not worry. Listen, Neal is going to send you a care package of generic energy drinks and Pepto-Bismol, so you'll be fine.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrick.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah.
Order filled. Check us out.
You know what time it is.
This is the Mighty Soldiers exclusive.
Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. If you wanna take it to the streets, let's get it. If you wanna take it to the booth, let's get it. I'm about to take it to the top, let's get it. We ain't never ever gonna stop, let's get it. You ain't never heard nobody spit like this. Call the paramedics when I get like this. Front page news when I wreck like this. Hop in the booth and I wreck that shit like,
If you with the squad, then you already know what's up. It be going down, but my account is going up. I'm about to make another 100,000 bucks. Rolling up that chain, I'm about to take another puff.
Hold up, I made a killing, now my pockets got swollen. Independent, now I'm taking over. I'm a lot richer, you a lot broker. I'm a pot smoker, stockbroker, blowing up like a supernova. On my mama, I was born a soldier, the best in the game, man. I thought I told you. If you wanna take it to the streets, let's get it. If you wanna take it to the booth, let's get it. I'm about to take it to the top, let's get it. We ain't never ever gonna stop, let's get it. You ain't never heard nobody spit like this. Call the paramedics when I get like this. Front page news when I wreck like this. Hop in the booth and I wreck that shit like, I am unstoppable, I can do anything I ever wanted to. Never did anything they ever wanted me to. Got on my side and I'm not gonna lose and they're not gonna win. I see them, the haters, it's all cause I'm getting dollars again. Commas on commas on commas, I'm buying the dip. The market is dropping again. I can see him hating from the sideline. If you see a hater, tell him bye-bye. Watch my money grow, 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 grow. And my wifey like, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! Somebody better stop me cause there ain't no competition and I'm coming for the top position. Obliterating the opposition every time that I jot it in the composition. Everybody wanna stop and listen cause I bring it to you hotter than the oven in your mama kitchen. I'll be getting here like a politician. I'ma get bread when you stack looking taller than Scottie Pippen. Ain't nobody ready for the Armageddon when I pop the clip and I ain't playing. I'm spraying you brain, I'm bringing the pain like Damon Wayne. You disappear like David Blaine. I'm dropping bombs, Saddam Hussein. Stop and aim, pop you lames and pop champagne. I ain't playing so stop the games, you know the name. If you wanna take it to the streets, let's get it. If you wanna take it to the booth, let's get it. I'm about to take it to the top, let's get it. We ain't never ever gonna stop, let's get it. You ain't never heard nobody spit like this. Call the paramedics when I get like this. Front page news when I wreck like this. Hop in the booth and I wreck that shit like, Yeah. 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 Alright, man, I'm out.